Okie dokie. Today's gonna be kind of a vloggy video. Why did I walk over here? Okay, so today I'm taking the Favilla. I found a new repair tech. Should be really good. Everything I've heard is really good. His name is Danny. He owns a company called Fret Boss. And he should be able to fix my Favilla. So he worked for Huss and Dalton for 3 years doing all their fret work, which that is the thing that I don't really know how to do, and my comfort level's not that high doing fret work. So I'm going to take the Favilla. There are a couple things it needs, but let's just do kind of a vloggy, cinematic, beautiful drive to Stanton, see his place. We're not going to go in his place, and you probably won't come with, because we're just going to do a handoff in the driveway. I've got to grab the case. Let me turn that light off. I have to grab the case here, and then we can go.
Stay a while, maybe I will find words to say this time. I'm an honest man, will try and speak my mind. It's hard to find your way without a lie. When we drink wine, you have a way to slow the motion in my mind.
So it's been like very strangely warm the last while, which it probably has most everywhere. But it's been like in the 70s in November in Virginia, which is very unusual. It should be in the 50s by now. And that's what I find so interesting about the Shenandoah Valley, is that, you know, it's far enough south that it's definitely in the south, but it's also far enough north that, like, there's a ski resort, you know, really close that I grew up going to. And, oh, that's third gear. The shifting linkage in this car is hilariously bad. It's a good anti-theft device, but recently it has started missing first, and it'll just put me into third gear, or if I'm going into reverse, I will always get that little of fourth gear trying to take me forward from a stop. It's like a strangely beautiful day. It's cold and misty and rainy, but also a lot of the leaves are still just like super bright. We're probably a little past peak, but it is very cool. It's a pretty time to be in the Shenandoah Valley. Not like January and February when it will just be freezing cold and all gray and dark all the time. So anyway, let's go to Stanton.
All the while can turn me back to you in mid-flight. It's hard to find your way without a light. What's the point in living out my days without you? Towards the sky, look to find a sign to tell me where to fly. The birds that soar above don't need a reason why. It's hard to find your way without a light. What's the point in living out my days without you?
It seemed like it's that way. Let's go. Downtown Stanton is ridiculously beautiful. I love Harrisonburg, where I live, but this whole main drag is just nuts. How do you know if... Oh, the camera's gonna die. Real quick, how do you know if someone's going to be a good guitar repair person? First, ask people that you know that have had guitars repaired by him. So a bunch of people that I know and like, really trust and say that Danny does good work. He also worked for a premier builder around here. So that's some of the big things. The other one is look at their work yourself. That D28 that belongs to my neighbor, that's the one that first got my attention because he did a neck reset and he did fret work, you know. So anyway, all right, battery's going to die. I'll come back when I have a full battery. this is the thing I need to have fixed mostly. There's this little piece of binding that's come loose, and then the nut is just a little too low. So Danny will be here in a second. My camera died, but yeah, he'll be here in a second, and we'll see how much this will cost. I don't think it'll be too much, and I'm excited to check it out. So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So yeah, 65 Favilla. That's an F6. Yeah, it's that binding right there.
Oh yeah, easy peasy.
Okay.
Yeah. Is this secured?
It looks like it from my novice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no motion there.
Yeah, I think it's been fixed. And then the nut looks original, but it looks like it's just been opened up too wide. And so some of the strings are a bit low, but.
Well, there's a couple of routes we could go on that. We could, I could put in a new nut. I get $60 for that.
Okay.
I could shim this nut up. Just put some, like, I mean, I would never put a shim under a nut, but I could do. And with this guy as a vintage guitar of some nut, I would put a new saddle on it. It's just the cooler thing to do.
Okay.
But we could, for a little cheaper, I could just use some super glue and baking powder and baking soda.
Yeah.
And raise the slots up, and it works great.
Okay.
But you can see it, and it's not, so.
Let's just do a new nut.
Okay. New
I'm
nut?
okay with the saddle unless.
I see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like.
Action's good. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a cool guitar.
Yeah. I wish more people knew about it.
Yeah, that's neat. I did not know of them. It rings a bell now that I look at the name.
Yeah. So they started in 1890 or 1894, and so they came over and they started making guitars in New York City.
Oh yeah.
And they directly wanted to compete against Martin. So it was this. They basically had this and the F5, which went straight at the 0018 and the 0017. And the only real difference is, they're classical guitars for the most part. So the neck is bigger and more classical, and then they were fan braced instead of X.
Yeah, very interesting.
But they sound awesome.
Precursor in a weird way to the Ovation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate Ovations.
I'm mixed. Ovation 12 strings, I don't like working on them.
Yeah.
But Ovation 12 strings actually do a marvelous thing because they're the opposite of a Martin. Guilds too. That's why Guild 12 strings work. They're kind of dead guitars, and that lends itself to a level of articulation with a 12 string that you can't get with a really resonant guitar. You just get lost in overtones.
That is a good point.
Yeah. So, new nut, fix this binding. I'm gonna say $90 altogether. Cool.
Man, what an amazing dude. So we just talked for like 15 minutes. I'm super excited. He's gonna have my Favilla fixed here in, he said 7 to 10 days. Awesome. It's cool to just kind of meet another guitar player that just has the same instincts, passions. He loves Telecasters, loves Martins. We have a million things to catch up and talk about. So I'm excited to have somebody that I trust and does really good work. So battery is dying. It's a good day. All right, time to head home.